Welcome, students, family members, friends, and RMS staff to the 2016-2017 Radnor Middle School 8th grade recognition ceremony. This evening, we will acknowledge this year's 8th grade class as their time in middle school comes to a close. With all endings come new beginnings. Tonight, we will celebrate the beginning of their transition from being 8th graders at Radnor Middle School to becoming freshmen in high school.
In addition, we will recognize students who have demonstrated leadership, civic responsibility, and sportsmanship in athletics. Also in your program, you will see the members of the 8th grade class, as well as the names of students who have been recognized for their various achievements. We thank you all for being here to join us in the celebration. Let us stand for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Andrew Parente, followed by a welcome from our superintendent, Mr. Kenneth Batchelor.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Welcome. Welcome, parents. Welcome to our 8th grade class. I guess it's one of the last times we'll be referring to you, though, as an 8th grade class, the soon-to-be freshman class at Radnor High School. I'm Ken Batchelor, the superintendent here, and it's my absolute honor to be here this evening with you. I'd like to also acknowledge, besides all the administrators and teachers that are here, I know we have some of our members of the school board that are here with us this evening too. I know Mr. Dave Falcone, the board president, is here, and I think I saw Mrs. Stern and Mr. Miller, and any other board members. Again, welcome. It's very dangerous when you start calling them out by name. I'm sure I've missed a few that may be here. This is an exciting night for you, students. This is an exciting night for you as you prepare for your next step in your educational journey. It's an exciting night for the parents as well, having sat in this seat as well as maybe your first who's heading to high school, or maybe your second or third that's on their way to high school. It's an exciting moment. This class is a special class for me because having started in February, this class, future class of 2021, from Radnor High School will be my first class that I will have the pleasure of seeing through all 4 years. I've also had the pleasure of meeting all of you and having an opportunity when you came over to the high school to talk to all of you, and that gave you all a chance to write letters to yourself that I plan to mail back to you when you're seniors. So I look forward to seeing all that you do over the next 4 years. I have several children, and one of the favorite stories my children enjoy over the years has been the Velveteen Rabbit. It is a story about a little rabbit that was loved so much that by a little boy it eventually came to life. I identify with this story because my children, each of them, have their own little special stuffed animal. The 18-year-old doesn't want to admit that it's still somewhere in his room, I think. But they all have a special animal. When they were younger, God forbid we would leave Grandma and Grandpa's house in New York or somewhere and not remember to have that special stuffed animal with them. In the story of the Velveteen Rabbit, there is a rabbit that's loved so much that eventually becomes real. And the skin horse, if you've never heard of the story, in the nursery explains to the rabbit what it means to become real. And I'd just like to take a moment just to read a little bit of the story to you. The skin horse had lived longer in the nursery than any of the others. He was so old that his brown coat was bald in patches and showed the seams underneath, and most of his hairs in his tail had been pulled out to string bead necklaces. He was wise, for he had seen long succession of mechanical toys arrive to boast and swagger, and by break their mainsprings and pass away. And he knew that they were only toys, and would never turn into anything else. For nursery magic is a very strange and wonderful, and only those playthings that are old and wise and experienced, like the skin horse, really understand what it's all about. "What is real?" asked the rabbit one day when they were lying side by side near the nursery fender before Nana came in to tidy the room. "Does it mean having things that buzz inside you and stick out?" "Real isn't how you are made," said the skin horse. "It is a thing that happens to you. When a child loves you for a long time, not just to play with, but really loves you, then you become real." "Does it hurt?" asked the rabbit. "Sometimes," said the skin horse, for he was always truthful. "When you are real, you don't mind being hurt." "Does it happen all at once, like being wound up?" he asked, "or is it bit by bit?" "It doesn't happen all at once," said the skin horse. "You become. It takes a long time. That's why it doesn't often happen to people who break easily or have sharp edges or who have to be carefully kept. Generally, by the time you are real, most of your hair has been loved off, your eyes drop out, and you get loose in the joints and become very shabby. But these things don't matter at all, because once you are real, you can't be ugly, except to people who don't understand." You are now headed to high school, and in many ways, you are more real than ever before. Grades count more than before, and things you do now will be your foundation for your future. I say this not to scare you, but for you to recognize you will have real successes and you'll have real struggles. We want you to have struggles. We want you to have successes. It's part of life. It's part of becoming real. Life and high school is a challenge, but in high school you have a building full of adults who want to support you and see you succeed, just like you had here in the middle school. You need to choose to be real by making good choices for your education and for your life. Becoming real does hurt sometimes, and it doesn't happen all at once. Discovering who you are takes time. We want you to discover who you are. We want you to take the time to get to know yourself. As the skin horse said, it doesn't happen all at once. I hope you, this class, our next upcoming freshman class at Radnor High School, recognizes how much this community supports you and how excited this community is for you to move on to high school. I also hope you take time to take stock and recognize all the successes and challenges you've had in middle school, because you're already on that progression to becoming real. I wish you all the best. I wish the parents all the best. I think sometimes these transitions are harder on the parents than they are on the students. But I wish you all the best, and I congratulate you for your completion of middle school, and thank you for having me join you tonight.
The American Legion annually recognizes one boy and one girl for their service to their school and surrounding community. Students are nominated by their teachers for this award and then are selected by their peers via a voting process. At this time, I would like to introduce Claude Bennett, chaplain of post number 668 in Wayne, to present the American Legion Award.
This year's award recipients have stood out in their school community. A few of the activities that these students have been involved in are as follows: Martin Luther King Day of Service, Student Council, Middle School Athletics, Orchestra and Band, Dance Committee, and WEB Leadership. At this time, we would like to present a certificate recognizing their achievement to Victoria DiCarlo and Brendan Hung.
The Daughters of the American Revolution likewise seeks to recognize outstanding citizenship amongst 8th grade graduates in the area. Mrs. Hsu will be presenting this year's Daughter of the American Revolution Good Citizenship Award.
This award is presented to a student that exemplifies outstanding character, scholarship, and leadership. This year's recipient has volunteered for various church activities and community service projects, participated in baking club, soccer, orchestra, and college. It's my pleasure to present this to Annie Griffin.
At this time, I would like to welcome Ms. McNally, who will be presenting the Citizenship Award from the office of Senator Dalen Leach, given annually to an 8th grader from schools within the 17th Legislative District.
Good evening. Each year, the annual Good Citizenship Award is bestowed upon outstanding students by Pennsylvania State Senator Dalen Leach. The students who are honored with this award not only achieve academically, but they also consistently prove themselves to be good citizens by establishing a bond with their community and school through civic service and volunteerism. In short, these young people make a difference. On behalf of Pennsylvania State Senator Dalen Leach, I am honored to present this award to, and if you just hold your applause until I call both names, Lily Kelly and Joshua Goldberg.
Right there. Oh,
I'll get a picture.
Now you're killing us. McNally, come on.
I know. That's why I had to when it gets up
I know.
Garrett Spillerman, Mary Kay Colleran, Lyra Gibson, Bailey Whitebread, and Joe Seidel will now recognize the members of Gateways, Mrs. McNally, and Mrs. Sharf and Ms. Corvino's homerooms. We ask that you hold applause until all of the students' names are called for each homeroom.
Gateways 2017. It's okay. Katie Bader. Kieran Brennan. Anshalika Chauhan. Max Corello. Evan Dombra. Christina Donato. John Eldiri. Margot Flanagan. Jamie Fogel. Dominic Fritz. Brooke Gans Crocker. Zach Gretzula. Zane Gummel. Jessica Gusdorf. Amal Hawk. Shanti Hug. Maddie Johnson. Emma Kang. Owen Mazan. Mohan Lee. Ignacio Lorente. Deke Megan. Ben Margarian. Cy Midday. Madison Millhouse. Alex Pano. James Pratt. Sullivan Sims. Florence South. Tova Tashu. Tyler Torno. Sophie Wallace. Aiden Welsh. Samantha Warrenzoff. Melissa Wright. Hirabumi Yasu. And Andrew Yochek.
This is McNally's homeroom. Theodore James Anderson. Scott James Bellevue. Jake Bynum. Maya Casillas. Samuel Chung. Gabby Craig. Josh Dixon. Abigail Fluck. Aiden Glansman. Justin Tyler Green. Chloe Hannum. Elizabeth Herschler. Leo Horn. Sanjana Jane.
Ashley Callan. Richa Kukoani. Matthew Vincent Liotto. Audrey Margulies. Zachary Marino. Matthew Thomas Miller. Charlie Nadalt. Jamin Park. Tay Rutherford. Lila Shea. Karina Vale. Andrew Vines. And Victor Wang.
Mrs. Sharf and Miss Quarino's homeroom. Aiden Al-Assad. Adam Bahar. Ulysses Buzan. Avery Ciato. Brighton Dewitt. Heather Doherty. Muru Fang. Henry Gallagher. Saif Ghazi. Peter Gold. Jack Heary. Gavin Holtz. Lily Kelly. Matthew Leonardi. Tucker Millhouse. Ian Morris. Janie O'Grady. Carlos Palma. Shane Rebane. Andrew Rosen. Michael Sears. Spencer Spray. Megan Subak. Jack Underkoffler. John Ward. And Gavin Wan.
Service to school and community is a defining characteristic of Radnor Middle School. Mrs. Khanna, our PTO president, will present this year's PTO Service Award to our special student volunteers. This award is presented annually to an 8th grade student that has given outstanding service to the school and who may be considered an unsung hero because he or she is always willing to help others without ever being asked. This person, more often than not, has a smile on their face and a good word for others. However, this person also tends to stay out of the spotlight, letting others shine. If there were more unsung heroes out there, we would all probably be better off. The winners of this year's award have participated in Reading Olympics, middle school athletics, various youth groups, and other acts of volunteerism. This year, the faculty has selected Robert Hobbs and Zachary Schultz.
Our next award was established by Radnor Middle School in 1971 in memory of a beloved teacher. Mr. Smolin will now present the Robert E. Reeser Award.
Mr. Reeser was a popular and beloved social studies teacher whose life was cut short by cancer. This award is presented to an 8th grade student who has all or most of the following characteristics: personal courage, self-discipline, interest in others, and school and community leadership. This year's winner has participated in the school musical for 3 years, MLK Day of Service, and was on the yearbook committee. The recipient of the Reeser Award is Miss Sophie Wallace.
We would now ask for the Stewart family to present the Kayla Stewart Award.
We are here tonight to present this award in the honor of our daughter and sister. The Stewart family is us. The Kayla Stewart Award is given in memory of a special student, a unique spirit whose openness and kindness lends itself to empathy, joy, despite the obstacles in life. This year, the faculty have selected 2 recipients, Emma Kirsch and Conrad French. Please come with us.
Ava Hawkins, Avery McMullen, and Riley Holmes will now recognize the members of Mrs. Meekum, Mrs. Lord, and Mr. Zebley's homerooms. We ask that you hold applause until all students' names are called from each homeroom. Yes, it's first.
Thank you. Mrs. Meekum's homeroom. Mira Abuzara. Alex Bahij. Thomas Barnhart. Justin Bentz. Anya Chan. Timir Darden. Jordan Dell. Scott Doig. Anthony Espenson. Alex Frazier. Abby Frost. Rory Harper. Rafael Jaliero. Josiah Howard Lee. Kira Lee. Maria Lopez. Leah Monty. Angelina Paraja. Matthew Rosado. Liam Ryan. Joseph Sherry. Jennifer Stanley. Christina Suh. Ilias Tillman. Brando Vasquez. And Honey Wiftoft. Mrs. Lord's Advisory, Jenny Addis. Sam Beers. Dara Bonilla. Aksha Barath. Eric Chung. Sarah Conlon. Matthew DeVliger. Edward Egger. Anne Griffin. Catherine Hattersley. Georgia Henderson. Heather Hughes. Ari Jones DeVitas. Luke Kelly. Sumin Lee. Ashna Luthra. Ellie Morrissey. Ryan Oswald. Charles Salinas. Mac Sanstead. Carson Smith. Sunny Tagavi. Diana Vu. Hallie Wallace. And Calvin Wilson. Mr. Zebley's Advisory, Hizra Ahmad. Lee Bowers. Joseph Bucciarelli. Catherine Chambrone. Brindle Diambra. Miriam Dixon. Olivia Donegan. Brian Forte. Lyric Gibson. Samantha Guillaume. Samia Irvin. Lindsay Kelly. Ella Colber. Peyton Masterson. Amanda McGrath. Zana Moldavsky. Will Morrissey. Grant Pierce. Hall Rubenstein. Neil Serene. Caroline Spaniel. Bailey Whitebread.
Mrs. Kindred will now present the Ryan Speece Award.
Good evening. The Ryan Speece Award is given in memory of a student whose spunk and daring celebrated the power of individualism. Ryan was a former student at Radnor Middle School who unfortunately passed at a very young age. However, during his time at RMS, he made a lasting mark. This award is presented to the 8th grader who most encompasses the qualities that Ryan showcased during his life. Recipients of this award showcase a unique individualism. They are not afraid to step out of their comfort zone or buck the trend. They have a light to which others are drawn. Their energy permeates throughout the class. These individuals are a wonderful asset to our learning community at RMS, and for that, we are thankful. This year's recipient has participated in sports, particularly lacrosse, the National History Day state competition, and various volunteer groups. This year, the faculty have selected Ms. Chloe Hannum.
We would like to welcome Ms. Adams, a longtime administrator dedicated to meeting the needs of all learners, who will present the award named in her honor.
This award is presented to 8th grade students who have shown growth and improvement in their middle school career and have demonstrated consistent effort and motivation throughout middle school. Oh, this is a nice surprise. Usually there is just one person who is selected, but I see tonight there are 3 people who've been selected. That's a good surprise. I like that. And the 3 students are Samuel Metzger, Henry Gallagher, and Diana Vu.
This is Sam.
Sam, this is Sam. Hi, Sam. You must be Henry. You have to go through.
Mrs. Lord will now present the Dr. Gary Keim Award, honoring another Radnor Middle School teacher.
Dr. Gary Keim devoted over 30 years to Radnor Middle School as a 7th and 8th grade social studies teacher, academic team leader, coach, and athletic director. He was committed to excellence in the classroom and on the athletic fields. In a firm but friendly way, Dr. Keim embodied the very virtues he sought to instill in his students, his undefeated Pound football teams, and his fellow faculty members, namely integrity, dedication, hard work, and a sincere pride in everything Radnor. This year, the faculty have selected 5 recipients, 1 per team, to receive the Gary Keim Award. They are Scott Doig. Yeah, now you take it. I don't want to. Samia Irvin. Katie Lorene. William Deek Megan. And Augie Westby.
Catherine? Abby Jansen, Tyler Tourneau, and Becca Zajac will now recognize the members of Mrs. Kindred, Mr. Hahn, and Mrs. Howie's homerooms. Again, we ask that you hold applause until all students' names are called from each homeroom.
Students from Mrs. Kindred's Advisory: Dean Algin, Chris Beeger, Eric Bryant, Alan Chung, Rebecca Demopoulos, Brian Engel, Abby Gerard, Ryan Hamill, Ava Henry, Rishi Khanna, Owen Lewandowski, Maeve Lynch, Samuel Metzger, Jack Murphy, Noel Palma, Jackson Reed, Joe Seidel, Oscar Spears, Puravi Tavotana, Maddie Waltman, Lola Wilton, Carter Young. And now, from Mr. Hahn's advisory, Ben Adams, Elena Bader, Allie Bauer, Gio Bravo, Colin Cheshire, Lily Conlon, Lila Denny, Max Dooley, Ariana Etamad, Tyler Guyland, Lily Gordon, Emmy Healy, Riley Holmes, Brendan Hung, Casey Ott, Zoe Press, Zach Rosenblum, Noor Saeed, Zachary Schultz, James Sweet, Alani Buskerjan, and finally, Josh Yu.
Miss Howie's advisory, Jamie Barrett, Brandon Bowman, Sarah Casanova, Xiaohang Chen, Lucy Criscolo, Catherine Deshan, Seamus Feely, Conrad French, Rai Ganesan, Sophia Duralis, Sierra Hobson, Daytrell Jerome, Ryan Klein, Aim Lacroix, Duncan McDermott, Claire McDonald, Christopher O'Grady, Lewis Robinson, John Terlanga, Elizabeth Toscano, Peter Vitale, and Jeffrey Wu.
Mr. Hahn will now present the Emerson Chief Metoxen Award and the Scholar Athlete Award.
Good evening. The Emerson Chiefs Metoxen Spirit Award is awarded to the Radnor Middle School male and female athlete who is in 8th grade and best exemplifies the Radnor traditions of sportsmanship, loyalty, and endeavor. This year, our award goes to Emmy Healy and Scott Belleville. Another award instituted by our Central League is the Scholar Athlete Award. The Scholar Athlete Award recognizes individuals in our school who are not only for their athletic accomplishments, but also for their scholastic accomplishments. This honor is bestowed upon one male and one female student athlete who exemplifies honor, leadership, positive conduct, and performance. This year, the award goes to Janie O'Grady and Duncan McDermott.
Mr. Fiorini will now present the Walter E. Katuzny Award.
Good evening. The Walter E. Katuzny Junior Leadership Award is presented annually in memory of Walt Katuzny, a longtime Radnor Middle School teacher and Radnor High School coach who passed away in 1998 following a valiant battle with cancer. The Walter Katuzny Leadership Award is presented to a girl and boy who have demonstrated leadership in academics, athletics, and service. This year, the award to an 8th grade girl is presented to Jessica Gusdorf. And the award to an 8th grade boy is presented to Edward Egger.
We will now take a trip down memory lane with a slideshow of pictures organized by Ann Griffin, Patrick Levengood, Adam Ryder, Philip Shin, and Augie Westby.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old past said. Boy, you got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got trouble, and I got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together, see it through, 'cause you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, big and stronger too. maybe, but none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you, boy, and as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I'll like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we would take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains, and I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And for that we have each other, and we will rise, we will rise, we will rise, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up. I like the waves. We'll rise up, in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
At this time, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce former middle school principal Mr. Laffey to the stage to present the William F. Laffey Community Spirit Award.
Thank you. It's so good to be back again amongst the age group I love so much and the people who helped them become better than they were when they started Radnor Middle School, their teachers. The Community Spirit Award presented in my name is presented to a boy and girl that best exemplify the following attributes: empathy, concern for others, service, kindness, and cooperation with fellow students and staff. The recipient of this award is the kind of person that will lend a hand without fanfare. This year, there were 2 students who were worthy of this award, and the faculty has chosen Malia Enderly and Hall Rubenstein.
Paul, congratulations.
It is now my honor to present our next presenter, a person who, if you've lived in Radnor Township any period of time, needs no introduction. She was born and raised in Radnor, attended Radnor schools, and after graduating from Penn State University, returned here as a teacher to spend her entire career working with Radnor's children. It is my honor to present Ms. Patricia Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Laffey, and it's a testament to how long I've been here because several of our 8th graders' parents were my students. The Patricia Lee Literacy Award recognizes 2 students, 1 boy and 1 girl, who have a love of reading, literacy, and community. These students are rarely seen without a book in hand. This year, the faculty has chosen Aine Lacroix and Jaemin Park.
Please welcome Mr. Bruce Vosberg, a member of the Pennsylvania Association for Middle Level Education State Executive Board representing Southeastern Pennsylvania, who will present the Joan Jarrett Middle School Award.
Well, thank you. I'm very glad to be here tonight to present this award. I'm here tonight to represent PAMLE in presenting this award, this Joan Jarrett Outstanding Middle Level Student Award. This award is eligible within the 7 regions of Pennsylvania. I am representing the Southeast region, and the Southeast region includes the counties of Bucks County, Chester County, Delaware County, Montgomery County, and Philadelphia. And each school within that region is able to submit 1 boy and 1 girl nomination for this award. The Joan Jarrett Student Award is designed to honor outstanding middle-level students that demonstrate leadership abilities, good citizenship, and who have made positive contributions to their school and community. A $100 donation will be made in their name to a charity of their choice. This award is named after Joan Jarrett, who was a past president of PAMLE and was also a past president of the National Association, AMLE. She was a true advocate for middle-level students at both the middle level and in Pennsylvania and throughout the country. When these awards are presented, They're not read by anyone from the Southeast region. They're read from people in the Western region, and they are the ones that choose the winners for the Southeast. So the words from the staff member that nominated this young man receiving this award always has a kind word for his peers. On a daily basis, he goes out of his way to help others, whether it's assisting with their classwork or just a kind word in the hallway. He is one to never look for the spotlight, even if it's shining directly on him. He would rather share it with someone else. He balances humility with his leadership as he leads by example. He is a young man that has a tremendously bright future ahead and is destined for greatness. May I introduce the Joan Jarrett Award winner representing Southeast PA, to Garrett Spillerman.
To conclude the awards presentation for the evening, Mrs. Purnell will present the George W. Mitchell Award.
Thank you. This award is given in honor and in memory of former Radnor Middle School Principal George W. Mitchell. It is presented annually to an 8th grade student for excellence in all academic areas in the 8th grade at Radnor Middle School. The recipient of this year's George W. Mitchell Award is Brendan Hung.
Adam Behar, Chris O'Grady, Jamie Barrett, and Madison Millhouse will now recognize the members of Ms. Morikawa's and Mr. Echternock's homerooms, as well as soundings. We ask that you hold applause until all students' names are called from each homeroom.
The students in Miss Morikawa's homeroom are Sarah Bentz, Joshua Goldberg, Diego Gonzalez, Anna Granson, Ava Hawkins, Olivia Holtz, Abby Jansen, Clayton Strong Carnivus, Amelia LaFoucauld Plummer, Patrick Lovinguth, Ryan McDonough, Jack McNamara, Leo Majensky, Cody Nixon, Damian Payne, Kaylin Perrin, Emma Ryan, Adam Ryder, Philip Shin, Arden Vaughn, and Augie Westby.
Now introducing Mr. Echternock's advisory. Sarah Anderson, Christopher Bells, Megan Cairns, Jesse Conan, Leontine Dixon, Stella Rose Emery, Julia Foley, Emma Gibbons, Thomas Hannum, Robert Hobbs, Ryan Hornbaker, Emma Kirsch, Yi-Ji Lee, Skylar Leanne, Megan Miller, Kendall Mulligan, Cecil Imana, Elise Palmer. Elizabeth Reinhardt. Tala Sianitin. Jarrell Trumpet. Avery Van Duzen. And Rebecca Zijak.
Now introducing Soundings 2017, Sally Austin, Charlie Berniker, Luke Brown, Patty Castro, M.K. Colleran, Drew Cox, Walter Curley, Josie Darach, Katie Deddens, Tori DiCarlo, Isabella DiGiacomo, Malia Angeli, Betsy Fulner, Charles Houseman, Teresa Hughes, Mohammed Ibrahim, Sumi Jung, Hajin Kim,
Mark McKeon, Avery McMullen, Nick Meandro, Margaret Mooney, Andrew Parente, Aiden Peters, Clark Pyatt, Flynn Ryan, Chloe Sikowski, Grace South, Garrett Spillerman, Alex Trevisani, Liam Ullman, Brienne Williams, Terilyn Whitmer, Rebecca Yarno, Jason Wu, and Will Zamsky.
Please welcome members of the Student Council, Jessica Goodstorf and Sullivan Sims, for some closing remarks.
Good evening. This year's Student Council at Radnor Middle School was set up under the precedent that every student is a leader. All students lead. Our goal was to increase school pride and create a more positive climate. Our council was renamed the Leadiators, and students in grades 6 through 8 worked together as a collaborative team to create leadership opportunities at our school. We focused on having an attitude of gratitude and being empathetic this year. We tried to highlight these skills through bulletin boards in the hall, mini mirror signs of encouragement in every classroom, and a gratitude bowl that would visit classrooms with starbursts. Here are a few of this year's highlights. In October, the Leadiators organized a school-wide assembly introducing a physically disabled acting group known as Acting Without Boundaries to our middle school. The student jobs included ushers, stagehands, shadows, and lighting directors. After the performance, the actors shared their experiences with bullying, stress, and fitting in middle school with candor.
In January, MLK Day allowed us to join as one Radnor and show each other we need to care, accept, love, respect, and be empathetic toward others. Student and adult volunteers came together to participate in meaningful activities, which focused on giving back to our community. The Leadiators created an MLK photo booth and helped with cutting and sewing 750 hearts for the NICU at CHOP. In April, 22 mediators attended the diversity conference at the Haverford School, which focused on eliminating stereotypes and breaking race boundaries. This visit inspired another small group to create a mini diversity conference of 22 mediators at the Ballackinwood Middle School in June. At the conference, the students rotated in groups to learn about empathy, being present, being successful in school and life, and learning how to take breaks. We are all excited to see our future successes of this amazing 8th grade class. High school is the next step to taking more risks, showing our leadership skills, and continuing to stand up for one another as we share our talents throughout the world.
Congratulations, class of 2017. And remember, as John Maxwell once said, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Thank you.
Please welcome our principal of Radnor Middle School, Mrs. Esther Purnell, who will provide us with some closing remarks.
Thank you to everyone who joined us this evening, to all of our distinguished guests. A special thank you to Ms. Morikawa, Ms. Meekum, and Mrs. Rapino for putting this celebration together for us. Thank you, ladies. Of course, to our parents, faculty, staff, and most of all, to our students. You've heard that together we give our children the roots to grow and the wings to fly. I'd like to share just a few words of wisdom that I've learned to live by. Number 1, nothing beats a failure but a try. Number 2, find 101 reasons to smile every day. Number 3, be a bridge over someone's troubled water. Number 4, learn to give of yourself, your time, and your resources freely. And lastly, appreciation is like salt. A little goes a long way to bring out the best in us. May your futures be as bright as you hope, wish, dream, and desire. And I wish nothing but the best for all of you. Thank you for 3 great years. Tonight is your last night at Radnor Middle School, right? At any rate, let's give a warm welcome to Mrs. Nicole Ottaviano, the 8th grade guidance counselor, to close the ceremony.
Thank you, Mrs. Purnell. All right, I promise, I really am the last speaker, okay? Good evening, parents and students. I guess it's safe to call you high schoolers now. So I'm not going to take but a minute, because I know you all have celebrations you need to get to. But I first want to say thank you for letting me be a part of your middle school journey. And as you know, there are many things that are learned here in these walls. However, some of them have nothing to do with academics. Sorry, teachers. Middle school is a world full of ups and downs and lefts and rights. It's full of friendships and ends of friendships. It's full of awkwardness, feeling alone, having crushes, and figuring out who you'd like to hang out with, and discovering that there may be some people you might want to avoid. It's a place to learn who you are. And a lot of middle school comes down to choices. Every RMS class is just a little bit different from the next. And so whenever I give my parting words, I try to tailor it to that class. So when I analyze you guys as a whole, I think you're a pretty unique group of kids. You're faced with having to make some tough changes not only here, but at the high school. Some of your choices will lead you down a path of happiness, like an A on a big project that you chose to spend a lot of time on, or a lacrosse tournament you won because you chose to practice hard every day, But maybe your choice leads you to have a bad day. The text you chose to send but shouldn't have. The friend you chose to partner with on that project in social studies that didn't really pull their weight. The pic you wanted to post and did, but now I wish you never did. The test you chose not to spend time on and earned a poor grade. It's all choices. While these choices may leave you feeling upset, uncomfortable, down, that's okay. It's okay to feel those emotions. Failure and mistakes are some of our most effective teachers. But my hope for you is this: take charge of your choices. When you make a poor choice, do not let it define or consume you. Figure out a way to bounce back. Be resilient. We have to all build resiliency, even adults. When I was your age, so like 14, I started to build like a resiliency toolkit. My mom actually built it for me because basically without me realizing it. Because let's face it, there are days that you are going to want to crawl up under the covers and not come out. But over the years, I developed 5 things, that would get me out of a funk. So, do you want to know what gets me out of those funks? I got 5. You can take my 5, by the way, but I'm going to give them to you. In no particular order. Make a bowl of popcorn. Take a walk. Play a video game. Take a nap, and if all else fails, I call my dad. I am 38 years old, and I still call my dad. You know why? Not because he's going to bail me out of anything, but because he's on my side. He's on my team. So I know he's not going to lead me down the wrong path, but you have a team too. And some of the most important people in your team are right behind you, your parents, okay? I know right now they may not seem like the coolest team members, but give them a couple years. They'll make a comeback, okay? So, your final homework assignment from Radnor Middle School is this. Hear me out. This is something I want you and your team, your parents, can develop together. Find your 5. Discover and build upon at least 5 things that are going to get you through those challenges. Make a bowl of popcorn. Take a nap. Whatever it is, develop your 5 before you go to high school. Because while we all make choices once in a while, we're all human, but the most important choice you make is how you're going to handle yourself in those challenges. On behalf of the entire middle school, we wish you nothing but happiness and success. We love keeping in touch with you. So please come back to see us from time to time. Personally, I love when you come back and you tell me how much better high school is than middle school. Because really, that's exactly what we want to hear. Truly. So, parents, family, friends, we're going to ask you to stay seated until all of our freshmen have exited the auditorium. Please join us in the cafeteria and the main lobby for light refreshments provided by our 7th grade parents. Thank you all for coming. Freshmen, please rise. Teachers will dismiss you to the lobby. Teachers will dismiss to the lobby.
Thank you.